Sanitize your hands and disinfect your client hands with the basic one wiping solution. Gently use 180 grit file to shape the natural nail and remove the shine around the edges of the natural nail. Using the basic one wiping solution to sanitize both hands again, gently apply the tips to all 10 nails. When you apply the plastic tips, gently bend out the tips. Drop the glue between the natural nail and the tips. Press the tips down, then release the fingers. Repeat the same step of applying adhesive to all 10 nails. Cut all tips to desired length by using the nail clipper or the tip cutter. Gently shape the plastic tips. Remove all the dead skin around the cuticle area and the shine of the natural nails. Smooth out the gap area where the tips meet the natural nail bed. It is very important to remove all the shine off the plastic tips and to blend in the tips with the nail bed. Gently buff the entire nail with a white block buffer to smooth out an overly rough area to all 10 nails. Gently apply wiping solution to the wiping pad and wipe all 10 nails. Be sure to push upward toward the cuticle area in the circular motion, then push down to remove all the dust and the oil. Always to make sure the nail is completely dry, like a chalky white colors. Starting with the thumb first, using the gel brush, polish on a thin coat of clear gel from left to right, 1/8 inch away from the cuticle down to the edge of the tips. Make sure the whole entire nail is wet. Pick up more clear gel. Horizontal-like stripe a thin line across natural nails and the tip. Scrape up the excess gels. Then sideways the brush. Gently smooth out the gel at the gap between the natural nail and the tips. Then cure. While the thumb is cured, alternate hand. Start with the second thumb. Repeat the same step. Polish on a thin coat from left to right to the whole entire nail. Stripe a thin line across. Smooth out the gel by sideways the brush again. Then cure. Alternate hands. Begin applying a thin coat of gel to the little fingers. Repeat the same step. The reason we alternate hands and fingers to make sure the gel doesn't drip to the side, because once the gel exposed to the UV lamp, it will freeze and it doesn't spread. This will minimize the falling at the end. Always remember, brush on a very thin coat to make sure the whole entire nail is wet prior to build the gap, and make sure do not use any pressure when trying to smooth out the gel. By doing that, the gel will self-level out a lot easier. Always sideways the brush when smooth out the gel or build the thickness. This way will help our eye to view from the side much easier and then control the gel a lot lighter. Always remember to cure each nail while you alternate hand and finger until finished with all 10 nails. Polish on a very thin coat of clear gel to the whole entire nails. Make sure the nail is all wet with the thin coat of clear gel prior to apply any designer colors. Gently use the designer brush, drop a large drop of red gel design to the side of the nail. Then using the pink express gel, make another dot on top of the red of designer gel. Then using the designer brush, gently drag across the dot to create a heart shape. Repeat the same thing with the other 3 dots. Then drag out the side of the edges of the dot. Then pour into the center to create a flower. Clean the designer brush with the paper towel. While cleaning, put the flower back into the UV lamp to freeze for a second. Then drop all the white gel dot. Then highlight. Using the platinum designer gel, give it some accent on top of the nail. You might want to freeze it a little bit in between, like less than a second, to hold the color in place prior to applying another color. Using the kiwi express gel to create the leaves, gently touch and then pour. After finished with all the color, put in the UV lamp to freeze the gel. Then alternate hand, repeat the same step. Always polish on the clear gel to the whole entire nails prior to apply any color designer gel. Repeat the same step with the red designer gel by using the designer gel brush to create the 3 dots. Then the pink express gel on top of the red designer gel. Then begin to drag to create the petal of the flower.